Taurus, you are up for the November Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Okay, so this is the general reading. There will be a love reading later on, and there will be a money reading. So those will be coming out over the next few weeks. Whatever reading you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now, I'm using my custom quote tarot deck. I want to take one card from that. I will take one card from my oracle deck, and I will take a few cards from a regular tarot deck. All right, so let me go ahead and get started with this deck. May I have the energy for Taurus for November? May I have the energy for Taurus for November? May I have the energy for Taurus for November? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? May I have a card, please? Thank you. This came out in the pre-shuffle at the very beginning today. And it's interesting that it came out during your reading too. This says, the quote is, "We don't meet people by accident. They are meant to cross our path for a reason." And I'll read that again. We don't meet people by accident. They are meant to cross our path for a reason. And I mentioned this in Scorpio's reading, where some people may be reflecting, especially because we just had a full moon not too long ago in Aries, because I'm recording this on October the 15th. The full moon in Aries was on October the 9th. And also we'll have a new moon in Scorpio towards the end of October, which will carry into November. So you have that energy too. Scorpio is about ruled by Pluto and also Mars as well. Scorpio is about transformation. Some people will be going through transformation. They will be reflecting, like, what can I change? And I feel like for you, Taurus, as you're reflecting, you will be looking back and saying, why in the hell did I deal with that person? Or why did I stay at that job so long? Or why did I stay in this relationship so long? Why did I stay with my family for so long and not move into my own place? It's like you'll start looking back and just reflecting on things. But all this card is saying is that everything happens for a reason. That person that you met that might have brought a lot of hell into your life, it was to teach you a lesson. Like I mentioned in the reading with Scorpio, there was a quote by Omarosa, something to the effect of, "No man is my enemy, no man is my friend, every man is my teacher." And what that was saying is, everything is a learning lesson. Everything is a teachable moment. So if you dealt with someone who brought pain to your life or brought chaos and drama to your life, there was a reason that it happened. It was to teach you how to deal with it when you confront it or when you're faced with it again in the future. Now you will have the tools. It's almost like antibodies, because I mentioned this before in one of my daily thoughts. I call them love antibodies, where if you went through a bad relationship and you're like, oh wow, okay, red flag, red flag, red flag. Now, when you meet someone else, those red flags that you realized after you got out of that bad relationship, whether it's romance or something else. Again, bad relationships can be with friends, family, co-workers, lovers, whatever. But once you got out of that bad relationship, now you have the antibodies. The antibodies work in the human system where after you catch a cold or catch something, your body recognizes it and it creates antibodies. That way, if you happen to catch the same thing again, or if you happen to confront the same thing again, your body is like, nope, we recognize this. We've dealt with it before. These are the antibodies that you need to deal with this. That is what that experience was for with the person that you met. It was to give you the antibodies you need when you run into the next person. Everything is a teachable moment. So yeah, I'm actually probably going to end up titling this, You Now Have the Antibodies, because that's what this is. And that's the energy I'm picking up. Energy for, I was getting ready to say Sagittarius. Lord, energy for, any of you dealing with a Sagittarius? Energy for Taurus for November. Energy for Taurus for November. Energy for Taurus for November. What is it that Taurus needs to hear? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? May I have a card, please? That purification card wanted to come out. Sagittarius got that. Pretty sure Sagittarius got the purification card. Or actually, no, Scorpio got that too. Some of you, thank you. Some of you may be dealing with the Scorpio too. Look here. Would you look at that? Inner peace. Inner peace. And I feel that's all you want is inner peace. That is what you are syncing up with, is inner peace. All right, energy for Taurus for November. Energy for Taurus for November. Energy for Taurus for November. What is it that Taurus needs to hear? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? What is it that Taurus needs to hear? May I have some cards, please? Thank you. What I tell you, you're finding your peace. There's been some conflict. Thank you. There's been some conflict that has thrown you off and had you out of balance. Queen of Pentacles reversed because of the conflict. But you're finding your inner peace. In whatever situation you were dealing with this conflict, it was for a reason. And the reason was to give you the antibodies you need. So if you should ever deal with it again, you can charge right on through it and get the victory. Chariot, Cancer energy. Some of you could have Cancer in your chart, or you could be dealing with the Cancer or know a Cancer or whatever. Thank you. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? You have the Chariot and now you have the Ten of Pentacles? Yeah. You're doing good, Taurus. You're gonna find your inner peace. And the reason you're going to get it, the reason you will get it, is because you have the antibodies now. So it will be harder for you to get sick from the toxicity of people that don't need to be in your life, because you've already dealt with it with this Five of Wands. You've already dealt with it, and because you got the antibodies. That gives you what you need to move forward and get the victory and have your stability. Ten of Pentacles. All right. So that is your message. KIRWKC.com. See, bottom of the deck, I just caught this. Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So you have the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. All of this was a bunch of drama. But again, you have the antibodies. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, Taurus, be blessed.